Welcome into Toilets Titles After Dark. This is episode number 3. This is a Toilets Titles Podcast Network production. My name is Nate Wallen. You can find me on Twitter at Nate_Dirt19. I'm joined tonight by my two normal co-hosts, and then we got a little special guest with us tonight we're excited about. You can find him on Twitter at PrueBaby10. What's up, DJ Prue?
What's going on, y'all? Happy to be here. How we all doing tonight?
Excited.
Good, yeah.
I mean, we did a real long draft before this. Rich and I did, and it's nice to do our normal show now.
You mean a normal draft? It was what's far from normal as normal could be.
Yeah, you have to start 3 tight ends, 2 kickers, 2 defenses, and 4 super flex spots. So that's why I took the Cowboys in the second round.
Yeah, man, that makes more sense why Patrick Mahomes went like 6th or something like that.
Yeah, it was wild. I picked 9th. I was happy because I'm like, I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do. Like, we'll just figure it out when the hell it gets here. So, you're Rich. You can find him on Twitter at FreedomBandito_FF. And, of course, Abe. What's up, dude?
How we doing? Just back here for another week, pretty excited to be back. We're getting week 3. We're starting to get some data on some players. So, we're getting a little bit closer to understanding kind of the scheme on some teams. So, looking forward to it, man, every week. Every week, I look forward to it.
Hell yeah. You can find him on Twitter at NVINFF. You can find the show on Twitter at Toilets Titles. If you're looking for any of our content, mock drafts, player rankings, all that good stuff, toiletstyles.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, which we hope you are, hit the like and subscribe. We would appreciate that. And if you want to interact with the team, hit any one of us up. DM us. We'll get you in our Gilded chat. There's like 250-some people in it now. Tons of stuff all the time. So, before we get started, because I don't want to forget, Prue, you have a show that gets released tomorrow at noon, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Playing with House Money, obviously on Toilets Titles YouTube and Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Thursdays at noon, and then we have the SGC, which is our soccer episode now. That's every Friday at noon. I won't try to get to the Italian that Ice has it, but
SGC is so much easier.
Dude, we're on week 5, and that guy is just he's on a rampage.
It is unreal. Like, I remember when I met him, I'm like, I don't know shit about soccer or betting on it. And I'm like, I'm just following along. I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Half the stuff he sends me, I have to like ask him like, hey, where do I find this?
You got to ask him what league it is, what country.
Yeah.
Like, dude has everything, man. He'll give you Austrian soccer if you want it. And when I met him, I was literally tired of seeing him post winning soccer bets on Twitter. I was like, dude, I've had enough of this. So I finally messaged him, and then the rest is history. Playing with House Money every Thursday, man. Check us out.
It's awesome. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's an awesome show, and like I said, you guys throw out some bets in the Gilded chat too. So like, I mean, literally free bets that good stuff. So, a little bit of news. Big one today. Cam Akers gets traded to the Vikings. I don't really care. The Vikings offensive line sucks. I don't even think they've ran for like 80 yards this season. I think I saw. Was that right? Anybody see that?
I think it's 62.
Yeah. So
insane.
I don't know. I've never been a big Cam Akers guy. I don't know. Abe, do you think you carry it and worried about it?
Seems like a pretty lateral move. Like Madison hasn't done much. I thought that they were going to give their backup a chance, and now all of a sudden they trade for Cam Akers, and I don't think you really upgrade here. I think you have 2 C players now. So,
What has Cam Akers done the past 2 years that keeps on putting him in the doghouse?
He has shitty attitude, I guess.
Yeah.
He does have a shitty attitude.
Like crazy. It's like every season they come out, it's like Akers is in the doghouse, and we don't even know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
And then the playoffs come around. Then the playoffs come around, and they want to give him 18 touches a game, and he just goes on.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of this. I mean,
he's a super smart player. Like he's real heavy. I think he was a quarterback going to Florida State, right?
Good Florida State. But
I'm
with you, Rich.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I just don't know. Like I said, until the Vikings run game gets better, I'm not really.
Yeah, that O-line is giving absolutely no gaps. I mean, even Kirk Cousins is getting hit on a 3-step. So
he's on pace for like 6,000 yards and 50 touchdowns. even though they'd be 0-17. But whatever. I saw that on Facebook today. I laughed. That was pretty good.
Everybody's on pace for NFL
yeah,
records.
no shit. Bears defense coordinator resigns. We're not going into it. I told these guys we don't know anything going on. He's just not there. Eberflus called the plays last week. I would assume he'll just call plays the rest of the year for the defense. You're a resident Bears fan, is that you think?
Yeah, he definitely will, especially after last game. Last Sunday was probably the cleanest game I've seen in a long time, actually. I mean, even going back to last year, they're not blitzing when Allen Williams is calling the plays. You're rushing 4. It was a nightmare week 1, and I knew that they would lose week 2 after what I saw on offense, but defense at least put them in the game. They had a perfectly good chance to win that game. So, Goose is definitely calling it.
Like I said, your 2 linebackers you paid up for those guys are dogs. Like that. That's the best part of your defense. I mean, probably not going to get very many sacks again this year, but at least you can stop the run a little bit. Better than the Packers. We can't fucking stop the run. So
they can't stop the run either. They definitely have not stopped the run well at all. So until Aaron Jones got hurt, it was an absolute massacre week 1. And then, Rashad White just followed it up. So they're not stopping the nosebleed.
Yeah, I don't know. The worst news of the weekend, Nick Chubb. I am still upset. You guys all know that's my guy. So, yeah, I don't know what to do now. I'm excited for Jerome Ford, I guess. Kareem Hunt. I feel like Jerome Ford's going to be the guy there. What do you guys think that, Abe?
I do. I mean, Jerome Ford's a stud. He can play. Kareem Hunt has been sitting all the way here in the offseason. He's been meeting with this team. He's been meeting with this team, and it just kind of the pieces fit just because he knows this offense. He wanted more money initially and just couldn't get paid anywhere. I think he got a pretty good payday for someone that's sitting out until week 3. But they had to get someone that knows the offense, knows the team, knows the personnel. So, I think it's good fit. He's not going to be the guy. It's going to be Jerome Ford's backfield.
Rich?
Yeah, look, I think it's going to be about a 70-30. I don't think Hunt is going to hit right off and everything. This is going to be all Ford. What sucks about this thing with Chubb and stuff like that, here's a prime example of a reason why running backs are trying to get their money and everything is because of just what happened this past weekend on Monday. Horrible. Man, I was at my son's football game and didn't even know what was going on. I had Chubb in one of my lineups, and I looked at one point and just saw 6 points sitting there. I'm like, what the heck's going on? So then I saw the video, and it was like, that was horrible to see.
That's his second one like that.
Yeah.
So he'll be fine. He'll be back. Don't worry. He'll still be my RB1 next year. Promise.
That's your guy.
Yeah. He'll be ready for the workload, but I think it's the double-edged sword of the running backs trying to get paid is that's why they're not going to get paid.
Yeah.
And obviously that, that's the horrible part of it is the horrible truth of that nature. But at the same time, I don't see Kareem Hunt coming in and getting really much workload at all, especially once he fumbles his first week or 2. As soon as you see the ball protection problems again, I just don't see him even. He might be RB3 for them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because Pierce Strong's there, and after he got blown up in the hole by that linebacker who got a concussion, I think, from it, he scored a touchdown after that. But, he wasn't really much in New England, I guess. But we'll see. I don't know how much tread Kareem Hunt has left on the tires.
Right.
But I can't think of other big news I saw. That was pretty much it. I got too upset after I typed Nick Chubb down for the season. I didn't want to fucking write anything else down. So.
Yeah, the most of the news is injuries. To be honest with you, the last weekend was brutal for running backs, dude.
No, it's just
Saquon out.
Yeah, that makes tomorrow night's game. I don't even know what. Go ahead.
Does Shanahan give CMC full volume tomorrow, with the risk of getting him hurt? He's getting ran like a workhorse first 2 weeks, man.
Well, I don't know if the Giants defense will touch him. They're pretty fucking bad. So.
Hey, watch it there.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's who Rich drafted. Rich fucking drafted the Chargers defense and the Giants defense in that league. I don't know what
I wanted the first ones just so I could beat you guys with all these negative points.
Yeah, right. God damn. Fuck. I can't. We don't even need to talk about it. Oh, Joe just said the Giants are going to kill the Niners. You know what? I hope they do. But That makes it tough. I will say you need to make sure you're betting Danny Dimes over on his rushing tomorrow night.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that every week, but this time for sure.
He didn't run much last week. He's going to have to this week, though.
Well, he didn't. In the first half, they didn't do anything.
What's Matt Breida going to do? Like
Eric Gray.
Not even that. I mean, he's going to be running for his life.
Yeah.
You know what? I hope it is Eric Gray.
Maybe bet Danny Dimes over rushing attempts is probably the best bet.
Oh, that might be better than actual yards because
I
don't know how far he's going to make it.
because I don't know how far he's going to make it, but I mean, you're not going to get 3 kneel downs from him at the end of the game, so you can count those 3 rushes out. But he's gonna be running for his life. So, and I don't know how far he's going to get.
Yeah. All right, getting in fantasy favorites. Couple guys. I guess the kind of low-hanging fruit I feel like now that I'm looking at it again. But for quarterback, I love Lamar. I said it in the draft tonight. He looks like an MVP. He looks so fucking good right now. They're getting back to what he's good at, throwing the ball down the middle of the field, not to the sides. He's not good at that. Anybody down the middle of the field hits him in the head every time. 50 yards, doesn't matter. That pass to Zay Flowers was awesome. And, I think he looks so damn good. He needs to be under center more. Like I think Prue, you were talking about before the show, and I think that he is now, not as much as it could be, but like a little more than he was. So that's helpful to guys like him. But I like Lamar, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but I like Tua.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm a new man. I'm just trying to spread the love, I guess. Hey, who do you like your quarterback?
There's a couple I like. I like Mahomes this week. Obviously a second week back with Kelsey helps. A beat up Bears secondary helps. And I'm picking the number 1 guy of everyone's fantasy, so that's a little too easy. So I got a couple others here. I like Kirk Cousins against the Chargers D this week. Cousins has been slinging it. He's turning into a top 6 or 7 quarterback right now the first couple weeks. I think Trevor Lawrence bounces back also. I think he has a good game against the Texans. Houston's defense is much improved, but they have to be because they were, they're a bottom team every year. But I think Trevor Lawrence has a better game this week also. I think with him and Mahomes last week, just trying to get up and down and score points, and it just didn't happen. Those two teams, those two coaches, they usually bounce back and have a pretty big game after they have a kind of a slow game for them two teams.
Yeah. Prue, you got any quarterbacks you like?
Yeah, actually, I like Justin Herbert this week, even though they'll probably lose the game somehow.
No, guaranteed they'll lose the game. There's no fucking chance they're winning this game.
I mean, Minnesota has some gaps right now. When they're not getting to the quarterback, they're really having a tough time in their zone schemes. So I really like him to be able to hit some windows this weekend, especially with those receivers. I mean, Keenan Allen's out of his mind when he's healthy. So I really like that. I love Tua almost every week now because of the volume. I mean, it's undeniable. Mike McDaniel does not want to run the ball.
I thought he was a run game guru. What happened to that?
That's the whole Shanahan effect.
No,
last week, Monday he had to.
I do not like Mike McDaniel.
Or late Sunday he had to run because he's seeing three safeties over the top, but he doesn't want to do that shit, man. No. He wants to throw it to those guys on the outsides and let them run. So I really like Tua. I like Tua almost every week, but I definitely love him against Denver. I feel like everybody's going to give, a little bit too much love to Pat Surtain, and if you can't touch him, man, he's going to sling that thing to Waddle and all around the field. So
is Waddle playing? I thought he's in concussion protocol.
Yeah, they were saying earlier that he very well may pass. Obviously the NFL right now they're making you sit a week, but to be honest with you, dude, the way Tyreek's motioning out, I don't care who's guarding him. Shout out to Christian Gonzalez.
He's the best. He's the best. But I mean, hands down, best in the league. Like one of the best players. Durham Smythe over on his catches for sure.
Yeah.
Every time.
Can't guard speed.
Don't forget about River.
Oh, and River, of course. Old man River. Rich, you like?
Look, I went simple and sweet. I know you guys are going to line it up and everything, but look, it's easy to pick Mahomes against the Bears and stuff like that, just the way everything.
I thought you were going to say Jimmy Garoppolo. I was excited.
Not going Garoppolo yet, man. He's still got to show me something. So, look, Mahomes against the Bears. I think, to me, he's ranked as my number one QB this week, so I have to go with him.
He shouldn't get a grass stain on him. I think the Bears have 1 sack this year. I'm not trying to like pile it on, man. But
No, you can. No, please, you can.
If you weren't here, he'd be piling it on. I'm going to tell you right now.
What'd you say?
My fear with Mahomes against the Bears, I just don't see the game even needing him to throw.
But they're not going to cover. We know that. That's the problem. I don't know. It'll be backdoor cover anyways. So,
hey, I don't know,
we'll
man.
talk about that later.
We definitely will.
Yeah. Rich, running backs.
Running back. Look, it's an easy one with Montgomery not probably being in the game and stuff like that. I like Gibbs to really get a lot of work this week, not just in the run game, but out of the backfield and everything. So that is my running back that I'm choosing. I think I got him ranked 4th this week over running backs, all running backs. So that's who I got going this week.
Who's their backup? Is Craig Reynolds? Did they pull up? Or I knew they signed that Zonovan Knight from the Jets, but
yeah, they did. But Craig Reynolds is their backup.
Right on. Brew, you got any running backs?
Specifically, I mean, I feel like with the injuries, it's been a little weird to kind of really narrow down. But I like Travis Etienne for a bounce back week. They said it was cramps last week, which was a little weird. Obviously, they had pretty, decent amount of rest. You would think he would go and get an IV or something like that. But I mean, they play Houston, so I like anybody against Houston's rush defense. And then obviously Tony Pollard.
Moss ripped them up last week, so
yeah, right.
So you got to say Etienne's got to be a definite one you want to look at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think after week 1 they really decided that's going to be his backfield, but I don't know. Last week it was weird. It has to be. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be, but and then Tony Pollard against Arizona. That's a give me.
Yeah. Hey.
I have Pollard. I like Bijan a lot. And I think we talked about it a little bit last week, Nate, when it was just you and I, about how he catches the ball well in the backfield. I don't know if he'll get 15-yard space like Green Bay gave him when he lines up on the outside, but he's awesome. Like, he made a couple of cuts last week that were awfully impressive. He's fun to watch. So I like Pollard and Bijan, and then Pacheco. That Bears defense is what he referenced earlier. Someone's got to run the ball on that team, and I don't see Mahomes throwing a ton, so I like Pacheco against the Bears. The Bears getting sliced up on the defense.
I got McKinnon in one league. I think I'm going to start him.
You wouldn't be wrong.
I mean, I don't really have a choice because my other running backs were Nick Chubb and Breece Hall and Aaron Jones. So, yeah, and is Frankenstein.
I feel like you just never know what running back Andy Reid is going to play. That's my thing, where it's like first snap of the season, you have Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the game, and it's just like, dude, you are just the worst.
Thanks.
And everyone's paying attention. Every fantasy football player is paying attention to, like, all right, Pacheco, here we go. Everyone's paying attention on Thursday night, and then CH gets the ball first, and you just see, like, what the hell's going on?
Andy Reid.
Yes.
So, yeah. Well, we already said all the guys. I have Jamar Gibbs and Tony Pollard. I mean, we don't need to go through it. Wide receivers, I like Zay Flowers, obviously, with the Lamar connection. He looks like a dog. I was very concerned when they drafted him because I thought Hopkins should have went to the Ravens. Like, Lamar loves, like, big-ass targets, like, just because he's not, like, super accurate. So, like, a big dude that can, big catch radius helps him. But Zay Flowers, obviously, if they're going to keep him throwing the ball in the middle of the field, is going to need money. So, I love Zay Flowers this week. And then Josh Reynolds. I know everybody says Amon-Ra St. Brown, but Reynolds has been playing very, very well. It seems like, all the coverage rolls to St. Brown, which it should. So, Reynolds doesn't have to deal with much. So, I like him. That team as a whole it just fell apart. I don't know how you give up 20 points in the second half at home to lose a game. That is mind-boggling, but I think they have a bounce-back week. So that's what I like. Hey, wide receivers?
I have a couple here. I have Jamar Chase just because it has to happen at some point. I don't know if we're gonna see Burrow this week, but so I just put Chase in there. And then the other two guys are Zay, like you said. His matchup, is great. I think he's going to see a lot of Kenny Moore. I think is the slot corner from Indy that's not very good.
The Colts defense as a whole has played very, very well the first two games, though. I will say.
Yeah, but we also saw Tank Dell and Nico Collins do very well against this secondary last week. So
Yeah, that's your guy from Michigan, Abe.
I like Zay Flowers. And then the I think probably the best wide receiver of the weekend is probably Keenan Allen. I think he's going to just rip up this defense. He's going up against a corner, Metellus, I think his name is, from Minnesota. He's just been getting shredded all year, first 2 weeks. So I those are the three I really like. Keenan's, dude, he's balling. Like, I mean, he's averaging 10 targets a game. Man, he looks good. He doesn't look like he's 31. That's for sure. He looks pretty damn good. So,
well, they know they got to score like fucking 60 points to have a chance to win. So,
hey, us fantasy fans love that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Prue, if you haven't noticed, this is the reason why we're the late night show. Listen to Nate.
Oh yeah, sorry. That's what the E's for.
Hey,
We're explicit.
I like it. Trust me, I've been holding back a little bit. We're good.
Rich, what do you got for wide receivers?
So, interesting story. So, I got a trade offer today, and it leads into my receiver. But so I got a trade offer today where a guy wanted to offer me McLaurin for Puka Nacua. And I'm like, dude, where do I even have him at? I don't even know what league I have him in. I had him sitting on my damn taxi roster in one league that I was and didn't realize it, and probably wouldn't realize it unless this guy sent me an offer. So, look, I'm going 3 weeks in a row. How can you not go against a person that's has all the targets, all the receptions? Look, Stafford has the love for him like he has for Cup. Now, I'm going to ride him until Cup comes back. We'll see what happens and stuff like that, but I look for another good game out of him this week. Maybe not the same trend that we've seen but if he gets 8 targets, 9 targets, hey, I'll take that all day long.
I'm worried about Cup.
35 targets in 2 games.
Yep.
25 catches. Like,
Can't ignore that.
Is absolutely nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's running all the stem routes for them. Every underneath route is, I mean, when Cup comes back, it's going to be interesting to see how he moves over to the 2. He's going to kind of have to go to a Robert Woods type of role, but he'll definitely get 8 targets this week. I mean, I feel like he gets another 12, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like I said, you got to ride the wave while it's good, and it's especially good when you got a good quarterback like Stafford that's throwing to him and knows what he does and everything. So, like I said, you got to ride that train while he's hot.
Oh yeah, Prue, you got any wide receivers you like this week?
Yeah, I got 2 actually. One was mentioned in that trade. I like Terry McLaurin this week. Well, it's not going to be
him last week.
Not going to be your receiver 1, but I think Terry could be quite scary for some people this weekend, man.
That touchdown he caught that ball was awesome. Sam
Howell's balling.
That was awesome.
And Terry just runs some of the cleanest routes. I mean, him and Keenan Allen. It's probably Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, probably the top 2 route trees, and Terry McLaurin's very similar.
Forget about Devontae.
You say what?
Devontae, come on, dude.
Oh no, but I'm talking about route trees. I'm talking route trees though specifically. I think Tay is probably the number 1 receiver in the league, or behind Justin right now. But route trees, dude. Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs for sure. And then I actually like Debo again this week. After a big game last week, it's probably going to be Ayuk week, but the gaps that he'll
still not play.
Yeah, I thought John Lynch said he was, or he should play, but like I don't really pay attention to what fucking John Lynch has to say about it. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I were them, I would just give him that full 10 days off. They're not really going to need him. So.
Well, yeah, but you got Ayuk that's hurt too. So I mean,
right.
I mean, you got it.
And as of right now, he's not on the injury report as of today.
Who's that?
Ayuk's not.
Ayuk's not? Oh. I looked this morning and he was. So.
Oh, no, I'm saying Debo isn't.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I know Debo's not. I was talking about Ayuk.
Ayuk, he is trending, though.
Debo's good to go.
Yeah, he is trending to play, though. Ayuk is trending to play.
I could use a good Debo week in some of my leagues, so that'd be nice.
Did you miss week 2?
No, I'm saying I could use another good one.
I was going to say, if you're benching Debo, you got to.
Oh, no, sir. I finally got a win in a league A battering together. I've been getting my ass stomped for like a year and a half. I was in the championship for like 2 years, really good. Now my team's just been fucking dog shit for like 2 years. I beat the hell out of somebody last week, so felt good. Tight ends, Evan Ingram, going back on that Jaguars train. He's a tough matchup for anybody, especially like you said, talking about Kenny Moore earlier. If, Evan Ingram's not like a real tight end. He's just pretty much a big slot receiver, so good luck guarding him. And then Mark Andrews, back to my Lamar thing. Don't even say anything more about it. So, Rich?
Yeah, I'm going with the boring pick, Mr. Travis Kelce and stuff like that. I mean, I want to see more from him, everything, but I mean, that's what you got to go with.
Yeah. What about you, Prue? Got any guys besides Kelsey?
I would personally have said Andrews, but I lost him in Frankenstein this week, so I hope he doesn't go off because it's just going to hurt. It's just going to make it even more, more terrible.
Stings a little more.
I got a little bit of a dart throw, and it's going to be Dalton Kincaid for a finally.
I like that.
Introduction. Week 1, he was so involved. He was way more involved than I thought he would be, and then week 2, it was just nothing. So I think if they're going to rotate him, he's obviously young, going to figure out the playbook a little more. But I think he's finally going to make that week 3 showing of 7 targets, 55 yards and maybe a score. So
as long as Steph Diggs doesn't get mad.
So
he will.
So
he always will.
Frankenstein?
He's always going to be crying. Him and AJ Brown need to go and be on the same team.
Yeah. What'd you say, Rich?
I was going to say, Prue, what do you think of Frankenstein so far?
Oh, it's insane.
That's
I
frustrating.
love it though. I feel like I manipulated the draft a lot more than a lot of people should have. But yeah, it's
I was
awesome.
talking to Justin earlier. He's been swindling these people to lose against him.
I know. I saw that, man. I'm in the same division as him. He's 1 and I'm 2 right now.
Hey, last week was brutal for me. Like I said, I lost Nick Chubb, and then the guy stole Breece Hall from me. It was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah. Hey, you got tight ends?
No. There's no tight ends that really are attractive this year. It's there's been a couple, but it's just one of those positions that I don't know. I don't really care about. I don't know what to think. I'm just not a huge fan of. I mean, obviously, I hope Kelsey gets it going. He looked awfully slow last week, but hopefully he gets it going, and we get a couple others going. I don't know. Tight ends is one. It's dart throws every week almost. So
yeah. Right on. Move it over. Do a little DFS talk. I don't even remember. I looked at my score from last week, where I was at, and I already forgot because it wasn't that good. Rich, you didn't get to have a DFS lineup for us last week because you were having fun working overnight. So, what do you got for us?
So this week I got Mayfield at 5,300. I got CMC at 9,100. Kyron Williams at 5,500. That way I could still use Jefferson at 9,300 and throwing in Zay Flowers at 5,400. I threw in Marvin Mims at 3,900. I know they're playing against a stout defense and everything, but I think it's going to be all the focus over on Sutton and everybody else, where Marvin Mims might get some good looks like he did last week. He looked real good last week in that game. Now, probably not the same defense they're playing against, but I do like him at that value. Hunter Henry at 4,100. And I'm taking a dart throw with Tyjae Spears at 4,400. If with the defense,
wave, right?
What's that?
Roll wave. I know they say about in Tulane.
Yeah, we'll wave and stuff like that. But I'm gonna take a shot at him that he gets some good opportunities in some passing games and everything. And then Titans defense at 3,000. I was able to snag a little low volume there, so I can get some high volume on the bigger players.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll go with this. This feels not very fun. Maybe like a cash gamer deal because it's kind of rough. Well, maybe not. Lamar Jackson paid up for quarterback, 7,700. Jimmy Cook and Jerome Ford at running back. Titans defense is good, but they're going to feed him. Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, and Drake London. Hopefully London plays like he did last week. I like Sam Laporta at tight end. He looked really good week 1. And then Bijan in my flex, and the Browns defense, because that defense has been playing very, very well. And the Titans, they aren't good, but yeah, they can run the ball. So, you got a nice DFS lineup for us?
I do actually. I feel like it is, but then when I look at it,
that's how I feel.
Not so much. But I feel like I got a lot of good value. I went with Kirk at the quarterback for 6,900. Obviously playing that Chargers defense. They actually still have Jerome Ford at 4,800. I don't know if you guys saw that.
That's why I picked him. Yeah, cheap.
Yeah, sorry, I zoned out trying to dial in on taking everyone's money real quick. Kenneth Walker at 6,200 against Carolina. Christian Kirk against Houston. I think he had just a massive showing last week with the deep shots. I think that chemistry with Trevor is just going to outshine what a lot of people thought was going to go to Ridley automatically. I know Ridley had a good showing, but I just think that's gonna ring true. So he's at 5,400. Drake London at 5,000 against Detroit. Going back to Terry McLaurin, I know he plays Buffalo, but I don't care. 5,600. Jake Ferguson for Dallas. He was at 3,600, and I mean Dak loves hitting him in the red zone. So yep. I think 3,600 is good value. I really only want the touchdown anyway. So, and then I piggybacked the Seahawks defense at 3,200 against Carolina. Bryce Young obviously looks like a deer in headlights, and they're giving up a lot of points, but they're getting turnovers. And then saving all of that money got me Justin Jefferson at my flex for 9,300.
That's nice. Yeah, how does Frank Reich have another job? I'm not quite sure what. Anyways, he's gonna get Bryce Young killed. Abe.
I went Cousins at my quarterback at 5,900. My running backs, I went Breece Hall at 5,600. I think he made a comment after the game the other day that he's got to touch the ball more than 4 times. And I went Kendre Miller at 4,300. I don't know how much he's going to play, if he does play. But
he's got to. They don't have anybody else.
They don't have anyone else, so I like that play. I went really low at Tank Dell at 3,600 as my wide receiver. 10 targets last week. Played really well. And then I bumped it up with Tyreek at 9,000, JJ at 9,300, Ertz at 3,500, leading all tight ends with targets so far this year.
Josh Dobbs' guy, dude.
And then Zay Flowers is in my flex at 5,400, and I have the Commandos defense at 2,400. I know the Bills didn't turn it over last week, but their quarterback's been known to turn it over a time or two, so I thought I'd take a shot in the dark. That Washington's pretty good, man. They're 2-0, so.
Hell yeah. Before we move on, I want to make sure to talk about patreon.com/ToiletsTitles. If you already support us, thank you so much. And, we'd love for anybody else to join in. I'm doing giveaways like every single week, whether it's not for the fantasy leagues we're doing, but, whether they're giving away gift cards, signed memorabilia, all kinds of stuff. So check it out. It's as little as $1.50 a month. Get you in there. We have a special chat in our Gilded server for the Patreon, answering questions all the time. A waiver wire episode that gets dropped just for the Patreon members, it's a ton of good information. So yeah, check it out. If you got any questions, hit us up. We would be happy to answer them, show you around, and like I said, we do appreciate everybody that's already supporting us. So, but yeah, let's get into the good stuff, right? Any favorite line for the week?
Let's Prue lead this off, man. That's what this man's known for.
Okay.
I want to hear some nice ones.
Okay. Okay. Little surprising. I wasn't expecting that, but I'll let you build off of mine, Nate, because obviously you don't you believe in the Bears more than I do. So
no. Just this week.
Hey, that's what I heard. I don't know.
I'm good with it.
I know the Chiefs usually, they want to keep games close, and we saw week 1 against Detroit, and I don't think there's a better team to have an introduction party than the Chicago Bears right now. One, you're going to see Andy Reid, just an actual offensive guru, go against, an unproven OC from Green Bay that I was supposed to believe made Aaron Rodgers look better, but we're calling a Pop Warner football team right now. It's a Pop Warner offense. You're running 15 screens out of 37 passes in week 1. I don't want to hear anything else you have to say about football. So I just don't see them keeping this within 12. Last time I checked, it was at 12. It might have been at 12.5. I'm taking both. I think once they get up 14 and then the Bears have a 3-and-out, that's going to be it for that spread. So I love that. I kind of stayed away from like actual spreads though. So I guess, I'll maybe bounce off of you guys on yours, but I do like a couple of the team totals. We mentioned them in Playing with House Money, so you'll be able to see all of them if you go check that out tomorrow at noon. But they have Washington's team total line at 18.5, along with the Colts as well. I know obviously Richardson's out, but Minshew can put up points.
Gardner fucking slings it, man. Like, I feel like that their offense has more options with him.
Yeah, he's aggressive, and he's aggressive too.
Yeah.
He's not going to be scared to sling it anywhere, even if he turns the ball over. So I like the team total just for the game. Sometimes you get garbage time, sometimes you get a few good drives early. So I really like those. And then, you can come check the rest of our bets out tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, make sure to check that show out. I'll go off that real quick. I can't believe that I would even have any confidence in the Bears after the first 2 weeks. But Field said he's going to play like he wants to play, which we'll see if he really does. Just I don't know why Getsy all of a sudden is trying to get away from what got them. Not saying what got them. They didn't win any games last year really, but he played well going down the stretch. And now they're not doing that stuff. He's not a pocket passer. They don't have time to be a pocket passer. When you count to 2 Mississippi and you're getting hit, throw the goddamn ball.
That's
run.
The thing. You're only guaranteed a 3-second pocket with a good offensive line.
Yeah. So
when you're 3-step and 5-step takes 2.1 seconds. You're not Drew Brees. So it's a Drew Brees like drop step. He's trying to go through his progressions as he takes a slow drop step. But he's not seeing the field well enough to do something like that.
Yeah, I don't think he can go through his progressions. That's what I think. I think his first progression is somewhat covered, and he looks like he doesn't want to let it rip.
Right.
That's what it's like to me.
Yeah, his eyes are moving. It's just he's not seeing what he's supposed to be seeing.
Right. Yeah.
All that being said, I'm taking the Bears plus 12 going to Kansas City.
Holy shit!
Because the Chiefs never cover. They never cover. I don't think the Bears win by any means. I think Justin Fields scores a rushing touchdown, probably goes over his rushing prop, whatever it is, probably 48 yards, 55 yards.
We'll go over that in a few minutes.
Oh, you already got it. Good. I couldn't find it this morning when I was looking. Anyways, like I said, I can see them being up 14, and like every other team in the NFL, they don't just step on your throat and try to run you out of the game. That's why the Packers lost last weekend. We just kind of stop. So the backdoor cover, probably a lot of 3-and-outs, but I like them. I like the Bears plus 12. I don't know why, but yeah, bear down.
Hey, there we go. There we go.
Oh,
I'm gonna clip that one. That one's getting clipped.
Do not.
That one's getting clipped.
Don't clip that. Rich, give me one of yours.
So, I'm gonna go real quick with a simple one. Look, I like the Chiefs at that 12.5 spread too. I think Prue kind of hit it on the nail. Look, they got the week 1 the game to Lions. They lost. Yeah, they came back last week and everything. Look, Kelsey was still trying to get into rhythm and everything. I think they come out and just kind of state to the NFL with the Bears they're playing against that, look, we are still here and we are the team to beat and everything. And I like them to put up points and everything. I think 12.5 is an easy one for them this week. I think this is the one time, Nate, that they're going to cover.
We'll see. I'm sure I don't care if they don't. I mean, it's whatever, but I can't go with them yet. Hey,
with that being said and stuff like that, look, I know we're picking lines, but look, I like Kelsey over 71.5 in this game too. So,
and 2 catches.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna get away from the Bears Chiefs talk for a minute here. I'll get back to that in a few minutes. But one of the lines I like is an over. I like the Chargers Vikings over 54.5. I think it's the biggest over on the board this week. But the Vikings can't stop
fucking defense.
Yeah, they don't. Neither team plays defense, and kind of what we talked about earlier. Keenan Allen's gonna have a big day. Herbert's gonna have to sling it around. We know the Vikings sling it around, so I like that over at 54.5. That's my first one I like. It's a big spread, and it's too early to kind of really be a lot of that positive over that big of a spread to start the year. But these teams sling it, and their defense sucks. So I like that. And plus, who doesn't like points? Let's get this going.
Hell yeah. So I like the Ravens minus 7.5 against the Colts. I know, like I said, I think they'll probably score a lot, both of them. But I just think at the end of the day that Gardner will have a tough time against that, good Baltimore defense. And like I said, I know I wish it wasn't 7.5, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, give me the Ravens. Rich?
Yeah, my next one is Washington plus 6.5 against the Bills. I think they'll keep this a close game. Like I said, Sam Howell's playing out of his mind. I like how they're looking. Brian Robinson is running like a madman. I mean, he's angry when he's running. I know he's a little banged up and everything, but I like what they're doing overall. The defense is not looking bad. I mean, they're about average with the Buffalo Bills and everything. So I like this to be a closer game within 3. That's why I like the Washington 6.5 plus.
Riverboat Ron's got him playing, man. I just like saying his name. That's it. Fruit. Get another one for us? If you're not, okay, I get it. You don't have to.
No, I was looking at lines earlier, actually, but they obviously don't always give me everything I want this early. But I did have kind of a dart that I threw out yesterday to ice. It was I'm going to be shocked if Elijah Mitchell doesn't score tomorrow for San Fran. And as of right now, he's plus 210 anytime touchdown on DraftKings. I love that. I just don't see how you give Christian McCaffrey 25 touches on a Thursday night after giving him so many touches weeks 1 and 2 and just really, I mean, the offense has been on his shoulders. I know it's been, you've seen a couple of the receivers have good games, but that's all based off of what he's keeping defenses honest and whatnot. So I think that running back 2 comes in plenty tomorrow, and I'd love nothing more than see Elijah Mitchell score 2 of them. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah. Abe?
So this is kind of a little bit out there. I like the Jets plus 3. I'm just not impressed with New England. Watching Mac Jones the other day, another guy that could only read his first read and then just panicked. I mean, just didn't know. I mean, you saw him look at his first read, and then all of a sudden he just, I mean, you almost saw his head shake, like, oh shit, what do I do now? I think that the Jets defense comes back to play a little bit. They played awesome week 1. They faced a really good Dallas team in week 2. I think they come back and make this a close game. I really hope this gets to 3.5, because then it'd be even more enticing. I don't see a lot of points in this game. So that's why I think that it stays really close. And if you can get 3.5 for the Jets, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I agree. I like Lions minus 3.5 at home against Falcons. No way they fall apart again. Like I said earlier, that was a fucking debacle. I don't know how you do that. Like I said, 20 points in the second half and losing overtime. That place was loud as hell. And how did they not get more pressure on Geno? They have both backup tackles in there. I don't know. Hutch looked like he was the best in the league against the Chiefs, and then nothing. So whatever. But I don't think the Falcons are that good. The Packers defense sucks. So that made them look like Ritter played real well. I mean, Bijan is awesome, but like I said, I like the Lions 3.5 at home. Rich, you got any more?
My last one, well, not so much my last. I got something else, but look, I like Texans plus 9.5. The last 2 years, Texans have went into Jacksonville and beat them the last 2 years. So I don't know. They ain't going to beat them this year, but I think they keep it a close game. Look, quarterback for Houston, he's not looking bad. He had a pretty decent week last week.
Stroud throws the ball well when he gets time.
Yeah. Like I said, look decent and stuff like that. So I like them to cover that 9.5.
Yep. For you got another one, anything or a line for us?
Yeah, I like Tennessee plus 3.5. Honestly, I like Tennessee to win the game after seeing what Cleveland did the other day. I think Vrabel's just going to keep that defense as honest as he always does, and Cleveland just did not look good. Obviously, you have the Chubb injury that kind of, takes some of the momentum, some of the grit out of a few of the guys, and I really like 3.5. I really like Tennessee to win the game, to be honest with you, but the 3.5.
I don't think Watson looks that good.
Yeah, no, he looked horrible.
Yeah, he does not look that good at all.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to come back. I don't think the 4,500 yards.
No, I agree. I think that's done.
So yeah, Tennessee 3.5 is definitely one of my favorites.
Needs a good rub down.
He's tense.
I'm gonna switch this over to the Cowboys here. I think the Cowboys minus 12. Usually I don't like big spreads like this, but they've outscored their opponents by 60 the first 2 weeks. So they're playing the lowly Arizona Cardinals. So I think the Cowboys just keep pouring it on. I think 12 points is not nearly enough. It's hard to jump that too much more to get over 2 touchdowns in the NFL. We saw it last year, I think, once, and they didn't. Whoever it was didn't cover. But 12 points is a lot. I understand, but when you've outscored your opponents by 60 through 2 weeks, I don't think that's too much to ask for. And then I like the Eagles on minus 4.5. The Eagles have not looked that good. They have not played that good. But this spread before the season came out was 10.5. And I know that Tampa Bay's played pretty good the first 2 weeks, but I don't know. I don't see Tampa Bay hanging with the Eagles.
No. I like how everybody, bashes on McCarthy for being a shitty coach. Yeah, their offense looks pretty fucking good without Kellen Moore, doesn't it? Maybe Kellen Moore is the problem. Yeah, that's it, because he fucking sucks. I like the Dolphins minus 6.5 against the Broncos. Broncos are trash. Russ Wilson stinks. Dolphins going to pour it on. So that's why I don't have to say anything else. Go Tua.
Hey, I do got a anytime score. I like Spears, Tajay to score anytime plus 2,000.
Hell yeah.
I'll definitely run that with you. That's right up my alley.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that. My last one is Fields over 59.5 rushing yards. This afternoon, Ken texts me and he's like, "Hey, Fields has to run, doesn't he? After all the shit that was being said today." I'm like, "Yeah, he's got to." He's like, "Go hit it right now. It's at 48.5." And by the time I went to go look, it was at 59.5 in a matter of about 5 minutes. So he screenshotted and showed me his numbers at 48.5. And when I got to it, it was 59.5. I think this number only goes up from here after everything that was said, after everything that was done. I think Fields does a lot of tucking. I mean, we saw last year through 4 weeks, he did what he's done the first 2 weeks this year. And then all of a sudden that Thursday night game kind of put him over the edge. He started running the ball. Their offense looked better. He looked better. I think the coaching staff is under a lot of hot water right now, along with Fields, for saying some stuff today. So I think they have to just go and focus on what Fields is best at, and that's running the ball, getting them outside, throwing on the run. He's really good when he does that. You can't force a pocket passer. So I think that hopefully they do this for Justin Fields' sake, that they get him out and put him out in a good position. So I like Fields over 59.5 rushing yards.
Who do you think gets benched first if Fields continues to play bad, him or Russ Wilson?
I don't know if they'll ever sit Russ Wilson. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Sean Payton will. I don't think he gives a fuck.
That's the reason why they brought in freaking what's the name from the Raiders last year, because I think I really thought he looked good when he played, and I think
that's it.
Payton thinks that. I'm telling you, I think Russell Wilson will be set before Fields will.
I think Payton just doesn't care. He said, "Fuck it, I'm doing what I want."
Yeah, I think I don't think Fields would get, if Fields gets bent for Badgett, it would be like an automatic, like you might as well trade the kid at that point. And then they got rid of Nathan Peterman today.
I saw that.
So I don't know what they're doing. They might as well call PJ Walker back. I have no idea. I just don't see them putting in the kid in that situation. If you throw him into that situation, you're benching Justin Fields, the kid, just an athletic freak.
Yep.
And you're going to throw him into the fire after everything with the coaches. Yeah, I think Russ is getting paid a little bit too much money to just get benched, but I don't see either of them really being. They might be able to just play horrible.
I saw somebody, some dumbass post was like something about, well, we might as well see what we got with this Badgett guy or whatever. I'm like, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Like why would you put that? Like, you think he's automatically just gonna be the guy?
Right. Pump the brakes.
In shambles.
Pump the brakes. Joe Burrow threw for 82 yards week 1. Like, let's just relax.
Yeah.
You're gonna see horrible games, bro.
We're what, 10, 11, 12% of the season done, like regular season. Like, everyone needs to just throttle down a little bit. Like, there's a lot of season left. Like, you just gotta. And I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that's just the way people are. The first couple weeks, they're looking at their fantasy teams and they're freaking out. I think I said this last week. Don't freak out during your fantasy teams. but let Fields do his thing, man. Get him out on the outside. The Bears, they didn't win a ton of games when he did that last year, but they were way more explosive, and they didn't have half the weapons they have now. So why not try that?
Go under center. Try it. Go under center and give yourself a whole playbook. You can do play action, run the ball, zone read. You can run. When you have two running threats like that and a kid with a cannon that can throw the ball 70 yards, once you get that opening, you give him a very easy concept, like route concepts, like Lamar a couple years ago. He's not throwing it to the outsides from the pocket in a 5-step drop on time. It's just not what he's doing. The route concepts are completely different. It's a lot of high-low, gaps. That's what you got to do with guys like that until he can adapt to the speed of the game and see the looks he's going to get as he evolves. I mean, that's your only chance. But trying to give the kid a 5-step drop like he's Drew Brees, and you got a bunch of 9s out there. You got 2 9 routes and a couple of guys over the middle. Like, don't get me wrong, he's missing these guys, but it's too complex for a kid that his athletic ability has dragged him to the top.
Yeah.
I think he's seen a little bit of ghost just sitting back there. I think he knows he's best on the run. I mean, that's when his eyes are upfield and when he can make people miss. And honestly, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I want him to sit back in the pocket. Like, I don't want him to move around like that. So as an offensive coordinator, wouldn't you think, like, hey, get him, like, use his strengths? That's what I don't understand. But I think it has to happen this week. And I think that's if it does happen, unless they hold him back again, which, I mean, the media is going to just eat him alive if they do it again. But I think there's too much pressure. They have to let him loose.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I just forgot who the KC defensive coordinator is. He's really good. It's Steve Spagnuolo, right?
Yeah.
Like, he knows his shit.
Thanks.
They're going to be in zone coverage like the entire game, and that's what he really struggles against. So, like, he's going to have to run the ball. Unless they want to, like you said, unless it's going to be the same thing. I don't know.
And Spags is sending heat. Spags going to blitz you.
Well, like I said, but he's going to run zone in the back end.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
And that's what, like I said, it seems like the younger quarterbacks like that struggle with zone coverage. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's just what it feels like. It's like I said, some of those interceptions he's thrown, you're like, eek.
Hey, let's face it, he had guys open last week. He just didn't hit them. Like, he
didn't even throw it.
Yeah, he didn't even throw it. Yeah.
So one last thing I do have to say, because I told Coach I was going to do a new segment, and if I had my overlay, I'd make it so it's not just me on the screen, but I don't have one, and I think that's weird sometimes. But I just say about how, like, this guy stinks, right? Because that's what I always say. So I was so pissed. I don't know. I didn't text Jade because I was too mad about Brandon Staley, but because that's just like every day I'm mad about him. I feel like he raises my blood pressure. I'm not even a Chargers fan. That fucking guy, dude. They had like a minute and 40 seconds left. 3 timeouts. Like, you should be able to run like 10 or 15 plays, you bastard. You should be able to run like 10 or 15 plays, at least 10 plays with that. They run 5 plays, and then they finally call timeout with like 50 seconds left. They're on the 14-yard line, and they can't do anything. And like then they and they go to overtime, they lose the game. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that guy, I get so mad because it's like he has no idea what he's doing. Like, and Abe said earlier, he's just calling plays, and actually Kellen Moore's one that's calling the plays. But like, that's what it is, and I can't. He has to be fired. How he didn't get fired last year when they gave up 35 points or whatever to the Jaguars, or whatever, 27. Like, it is insane. It doesn't make sense. It's like he has no idea what he's doing.
He's awful. 100% awful. Terrible.
That guy stinks. I'm sorry. He's the worst. I can say you can do it every week, but it's fucking incredible to watch that guy has a job. I mean, like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm not a fucking genius, but I could tell, use your timeouts. At least call a fucking timeout and like figure some shit out.
Hashtag free Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah, let him fly. He's healthy. Let him rip. He's got healthy wide receivers out there. Let him fucking eat. Like, just go crazy with him.
For sure.
I'm sorry. I sorry I got so fired up about Brandon Staley, but I just can't. I can't do it.
Hey, I got a question before we get out of here.
Yeah.
So I have Burrow as my quarterback.
Yep.
I also have Purdy and Jordan Love. Do I count on Burrow to play Monday night?
No.
Do I play Purdy tomorrow night?
No.
Do I play Love on Sunday?
I'm probably playing Love.
Yeah, you play Love just to give yourself the time. Playing a quarterback on a Thursday night, never good.
Yeah, I just don't know what I want to do. And being a Packers fan, I'm like, I don't know. Is Love going to go in his home opener and throw for 3 more? I don't know. Against
He's not playing the Bears, so who knows?
It's like their first real test with playing against a good defense, a very good defense, I think. No, J-Rob, I don't think Jair follows Olave. I think because Joe Barry sucks, he doesn't like to do that. He'd rather just put Rasul and Keyshawn Nixon or whoever. I just fucking lost my train of thought. But like,
and you got a possession receiver on the other end in Michael Thomas, who just had a great showing. I don't think he follows Olave. I think he has enough with his hands full.
And Shaheed that can take the top off. So
correct.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, Purdy. I feel like they're not going to throw the ball that much. I think that game's going to get out of hand, and just kind of like Shanahan's just going to run the ball with Elijah Mitchell, and he's going to score 2 touchdowns. And I said, I don't think Joe
Burrow got me wanting to change my DFS lineup to Elijah Mitchell and put him in there somehow.
I do love that tomorrow night. I love that Elijah Mitchell.
I don't think Joe Burrow plays. I said it earlier on the draft show we did.
I don't think so either.
That line opened at 7.5, right? And it's last I checked, it was down at like 2 or 2.5. There's no way that, if Burrow played, I could see it going the other way.
Oh yeah.
If he was healthy, I don't think he plays. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. I have a hard time waiting out. Like I said, it's not like you have Stafford as your other quarterback.
Right.
So it's hard to. I know it's hard to start Jordan Love when we're Packers fans, but just do it. I've been doing it in bar praise and I won.
Damn it.
Just do an extra shot of Goldschlager. It'll be fine.
So what happened with the play where he stumbled into the damn offensive line coming out?
Don't get me started. I don't got time.
Quarterback sneak.
I don't got time to yell at LaFuck. I don't got time to yell at LaFuck about that and the fucking clock management when we didn't kick a goddamn field goal and we lost the fucking game because of the goddamn delayed game because you're a dipshit, LaFuck. I hate him too.
Man.
Give me Mike Tomlin. They want him fired. He can come to Green Bay. That's what we need. Anyways, sorry to go on a rant again. But Prue, thanks for coming and hanging out. Make sure you check out Playing with House Money tomorrow at noon. And then I'm going to just call it the SGC because I don't know the words he uses on Friday at noon.
Yes, sir.
Join our Gilded Chat. Talk about all this stuff. We can make fun of Brandon Staley together. Or you can try to defend him. I don't care. I don't think anybody will be on your side, but I would love to hear it. If you're an analytics guy, I guess that's the people that like him. But for Rich, Abe, Prue, anybody else got anything before we get out of here?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let me get one more bear down though, Nate. Let me get one more bear down.
Nope,
for the road.
No, Nate, you can't fucking do this.
I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I said it once as a joke after I picked him. No, not saying
Come
it.
Come on, do it. Do it.
He got you, Nate. He got you.
I know. I said
I'm gonna
it
clip it anyway. It's 37.50. We're good. Don't even worry about it.
All right. Have a good week. Good luck. Good gambling. We'll see you after week 3.